I don't know if y'all have noticed, but Gina Huyn is back on RTLs, and she is allegedly dropping absolute bombshells about what allegedly went down behind closed doors at Diddy's infamous freak-offs. Has the hush money run out? Because if I remember correctly, there were allegations that she was paid off, and that's why she never took the stand, even though her allegations were very similar to Cassie's. Anyway, just when people thought the madness around these parties couldn't get any wilder, her alleged latest wave of allegations has sent social media into total frenzy. Allegedly, Gina knows the females who were infected with HIV at the FOs, and certain names have already started making rounds. Well, Gina previously dropped a couple of names of people who were involved with Diddy.
After my abortion, it was this girl named Jordan. I mean, it was girls before that, but it's like after the abortion, it was just like too much for me to handle, and it was just like Jordan, and then the Jocelyn girl, and then the Cat girl, and then just recently Lori Harvey.
Steve Harvey's stepdaughter.
Yeah.
However, word reaching me is that she's talking about other, more famous people in the industry who were quite possibly infected at the parties. And I'm talking, allegedly, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Cassie, Kim Porter, Jennifer Lopez, Young Miami, Mary J. Blige, and Gina too, who has been pretty open about her diagnosis.
A lot of you are asking if I have any muscles in my legs and how strong am I right now. Most of my strength is in my arms. You can see I can kind of do this a little bit with my legs, but still need to get them straightened out. Stuff really hurts my toes. Did you get the picture?
Okay guys, I know that Gina previously showed her support for Diddy and even wrote a letter to the judge begging for his release, saying that he is not dangerous. But I guess homegirl has had a change of heart, or maybe Diddy has cut her off financially because she is the one allegedly spilling some serious tea. Personally, I wouldn't even be surprised because isn't she the same ex who previously talked about the things she had to endure when she was with Diddy?
He was abusive. He was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Diddy.
See, Gina first saw Diddy briefly at a fight event in Las Vegas in September 2013, but they officially met in February 2014 in Miami, when she was around 21 or 22 years old, after visiting his home with mutual acquaintances. They never formally labeled the relationship as official, but maintained an ongoing on-and-off dynamic for around 5 to 6 years. But she noted that Diddy was actively dating Cassie Ventura during the entire duration of their time together. Apparently, just a few months into knowing him, she was at Meek Mill's mansion birthday party, and after she reached out to shake Meek Mill's hand to say happy birthday, Diddy allegedly became enraged out of jealousy. That right there was the beginning of her nightmare. She actually went on to narrate how at one point, Diddy took one of her heels and tried to throw it at her. According to Gina, he mushed her face really hard and made her nose bleed. And she also said that every time they got into fights like that, the only person that ever helped her was D-Rock. Everyone else allowed it to happen and looked the other way. And another shocking bombshell that she dropped against Diddy is that he allegedly paid her to get rid of several of their pregnancies. Well, Gina is back. And what she is allegedly saying is that there are so many celebrities walking around with HIV and spreading it, and most of them got infected at Diddy's FOs. But isn't this the very same thing Jaguar Wright has been screaming from the rooftops?
Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked off, who actually made business, bank exchange, created dollars in real black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable, G?
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and would nobody be able to sue me?
According to Jaguar, which is basically what Gina has been saying, those infamous Diddy parties were never just about champagne and good vibes. They were laced with drugs. cameras rolling, and power plays that could make anyone's skin crawl. She painted them as parties where celebrities weren't just invited, they were compromised and infected with dangerous diseases, and they are all walking around undetectable. So the first name that's probably gonna shock a lot of people is allegedly Nicki Minaj, and the person who has been blamed for allegedly passing the virus to her is her ex, Meek Mill. I mean, it's possible that it's not a reach, cause when she was dating Meek Mills, there was an alleged romantic relationship between Meek and Diddy.
Puff. No. When he said, I was like, oh my God.
As far as receipts, there has been evidence of these two being pretty close, including Diddy and Meek Mill being photographed in matching outfits. Then, when Lil Rod filed his lawsuit against Diddy, where he talked about how Diddy wanted to bend him over, he said in his lawsuit that Diddy told him he had slept with 2 other celebrities, and one of them was described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Also, let me just play something real quick and watch Diddy get activated when Meek Mill says certain words. In addition, there's also that very questionable video with Diddy that Meek tried to erase from the internet. But if there's one thing we know about the internet, nothing ever really gets deleted.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
So, do we know for a fact that Meek infected Nicki after getting infected from the party? No, we don't know for certain, but I can tell you that there have been rumors that this was the real reason why Meek and Nicki broke up. Anyway, another name that shouldn't surprise anyone is Mary J. Blige, who was very much in Diddy's circle for the longest time.
Mary J. Blige, she's been there since the very beginning. She was pushing, 26? When she was having intimate physical engagement with Danny Boy, was 15, 16 years old.
This Mary J. Blige, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young.
Allegedly, one of those tapes that Courtney Burgess say that he never saw was with Diddy, a very 16-year-old and a very 26-year-old Mary J. Blige.
I mean, we don't even have to go into the history of Diddy and Mary J. Blige, but the other name that has made rounds is Young Miami. Of course, y'all know that Carisha was front and center in Diddy's life for years. She was his arm candy, his city girl, his transporter, and the one who proudly called him her man even while people were side-eyeing the entire relationship. So don't be surprised if she caught something. In fact, there have even been allegations that other than contracting the virus from Diddy, Young Miami has been passing around the virus, knowingly.
JT's basically coming out and saying that Young Miami is sleeping around with different guys, giving them AIDS.
Damn.
You know, and Future, Stephon Diggs is one of the people that got thrown out there. You know, she was with Diddy.
Honestly, it would be so disgusting if she's knowingly spreading the virus. But another name that shouldn't come as a surprise is Cassie. See, Cassie herself said during the trial, and also in her lawsuit, that she would suffer UTI after performing in back-to-back freak-offs, to the point that Cipro, a common UTI antibiotic, no longer worked for her. Then there was Clayton Howard, one of the male escorts, who dragged both Cassie and Diddy to court after the verdict, claiming that Cassie gave him an STD. He actually said that Cassie manipulated him into taking ecstasy and having unprotected intimacy, and he said she would order him to get off for hours on end, resulting in tears, skin peeling, and scabbing. So disgusting. You tell me, what are the chances that HIV was also being spread through all these open wounds and unprotected sessions? Now, when it comes to Kim Porter, to a lot of people, the way she died never made any sense. See, after Kim complained of nasal congestion, body aches, and a high fever of 102, she was visited by a doctor who prescribed antibiotics and IV fluids, and within 72 hours, she was found unresponsive in her home, with the cause of death being pneumonia. But here's the thing, for healthy adults under the age of 50, pneumonia is rarely a sudden fatal event. In fact, standard mortality rates for community-acquired pneumonia in non-elderly, non-immunocompromised adults receiving modern medical care are generally low, around 1 to 3% in outpatient settings. settings. So if she actually died because of the infection, it only makes sense that her body's natural defenses were already completely compromised behind the scenes, and her immune system was already running on 0%, possibly from the infection. Anyway, there's also Gina too, who has detailed her experiences at private industry parties and freak-offs, claiming that severe health risks and toxic environments were normalized, unmonitored, and hidden from the public eye.
For my peace of mind, my sanity, and my clarity, this has been nagging at me for a while, and I've brushed it away. But there's so much stuff that has come up, and there's things that, you know, I was exposed to some things, and like, it's just, it's so hard to say stuff without saying stuff.
Gina has actually been pretty open about being a regular attendee at Diddy's now infamous parties, and explicitly alleged that she may have contracted HIV directly within that camp, and she even pointed fingers toward Diddy himself. Apparently, because her HIV went completely untreated for 8 years, she said that it advanced to AIDS, and she also said that her weight dropped drastically to just 65 pounds, causing her to lose all muscle mass and her ability to walk. Well, there have been other names that have also been floated around, like Jennifer Lopez, who also dated Diddy at some point. In fact, when it comes to J-Lo, aren't we talking about the same person who was with Diddy during the infamous 1999 incident? And J-Lo was not just present, she was also very much complicit, and also helped Diddy to cover up the crime. That aside, another name that has been floated is Beyoncé, allegedly by extension from Jay-Z, who was also an alleged participant in the FOs. I mean, I have not seen any concrete receipts on that, but a lot of y'all are saying it's not far-fetched. However, isn't it crazy that Gina Huyn is talking now? How do you go from being lined up by federal prosecutors as a key witness to completely dropping out and never taking the stand to suddenly popping back up on social media to write a letter to the judge supporting Diddy's release to again spilling serious tea? Could these shifting stories and renewed allegations mean the hush money ran out or the funds got cut off? Well, she didn't mention the celebrities directly, but let me know what you think of the names that have been floated and whether Gina is talking because the money has run out in the comments section below.